Because by the time I leave here, I'm not sure we will give any more prospecting licenses.
He urged staff to adhere strictly to laws and regulations, prioritizing patriotism and selflessness in their duties.
A caution: if anybody here was going to stand in our way of these fundamental changes, you can start working out right now, because we will not let anybody be in the way, be a header to this progress or this resetting agenda. And I can tell you also, if anybody who is in the Minerals Commission, who is a professional and committed and doing his work, being the right thing, everything that I've said, please, there's no one reason why you should worry. Because this government doesn't have the time to come and do witch hunting.
He also charged the Minerals Commission to ensure the mining sector operates effectively and responsibly, emphasizing the importance of sustainable practices and compliance.
To the Defense Ministry now, where the Sector Minister, Dr. Edward Kofi Omaneboama, has called on land forces in Africa to come up with solutions to overcome cybersecurity challenges and terrorism threatening the suburb. Speaking at the African Land Forces Summit in Accra, the minister expressed worry over frequent threats faced by the armed forces on the African continent, challenging senior officers to find a lasting solution.
Contemporary defense and security challenges have accentuated the need for multinational and multi-domain solutions. The threat of violent extremism and terrorism, which is currently prevalent in our sub-region and other parts of the world, has underscored the preeminence of cooperation and collaboration, defense diplomacy.
He added, government is committed to supporting the Ghana Armed Forces to combat security threats.
The security environment continues to grow in complexity with the weaponization of otherwise innocuous instruments such as cyberspace. Technological advancement, including artificial intelligence, have become major enablers of this complexity. These have become ever-present challenges to defense and security forces all over the world.
In her remarks, U.S. Ambassador to Ghana, Regina Palmer, said it is critical that Africa adapt and strengthen its armed forces to confront the evolving threats that seek to undermine and destabilize the region.
We recognize that effective security is about more than just equipment. It's about the soldiers on the ground, whether they be our senior military leadership or the indispensable backbone of the armed forces, our enlisted ranks. It's about equipping those soldiers with the training and education to optimally employ equipment and technology to execute their mission. And it's about synchronizing security measures with partners across borders, because Africa's security is not just a regional priority, it's important to the entire world.
The goal of the African Land Forces Summit is to strengthen partnerships across Africa to improve regional and continent-wide security.
Let's bring you some more stories. And the United States Ambassador to Ghana, Her Excellency Virginia Palmer, says the recent 10% tariff imposed by the U.S. excludes key sectors such as oil and gas, as well as energy-related exports from Ghana. However, it affects products exported under the African Growth and Opportunity Act, known as Adwoa. She made the reservations during a meeting with the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration, Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, to discuss the recent 10% tariff imposed by the U.S. on certain Ghanaian exports. She explained that the tariff was introduced under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act of 1977. According to her, the move is aimed at addressing significant trade imbalances between the United States and its global partners, including Ghana. Let's take a listen to what Virginia Palmer, U.S. Ambassador to Ghana, has been saying.
Well, I had a great meeting with the Minister of Foreign Affairs, and we talked about how the relationship with Ghana is very strong and how we can keep it going that way. And the sort of details of what these global tariffs are, and some things where the United States and Ghana can improve our trade relations. I hope that it means that Ghana will have some benefit vis-a-vis its competitors, but we'll dig in and continue to talk.
Now, the process to review the Road Traffic Regulation Act 2012 LI 2180 to incorporate motorized tricycles as fare-paying passenger services has begun. Minister of Transport Joseph Bukari Nikbe believes that regulating operations of Okada riders in the country will help maintain sanity on the roads while creating job opportunities for the youth.
The quest to regularize the operations of motorcycles and tricycles as fare-paying passenger vehicles stems from a 2016 political campaign promise by the NDC. Despite their significant involvement in road accidents over the years, stakeholders believe that formalizing their operations remains the most effective way to compel riders to obey road traffic regulations. Ahead of the proposed regularization, a 13-member committee was constituted to discuss the review process, with safety and inclusivity as the guiding benchmarks. On Monday, April 7, 2024, a national stakeholder consultation engagement was held under the auspices of the Ministry of Transport. The session sought to gather further input from stakeholders towards the amendment of the Road Traffic Regulation 2012 LI 2180 to allow motorized tricycles to legally operate as fare-paying passenger vehicles.
We are aware of some of the accidents that are related to the motorcycles and the tricycles. But we are also of the view that when proper training is given to them and they follow the regulations that we are going to amend today, we will see a reduction in accidents. For accidents, we cannot totally rule them out.
Minister for Transport Joseph Bukari Nikbe also announced the introduction of a new licensing regime for motorcycles and tricycles operating under the Okada business. As part of the reforms, a national training program will be rolled out by the Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority (DVLA) for all riders interested in joining the Okada business.
Flights are all over the air, but we don't see crashes like we see on the ground. So if this law is going to regulate the riders, then we are sure of safety.
Spokesperson for the Ghana Private Road Transport Union (GPRTU), Abbas Imoro said, regulating activities of Okada riders will ultimately bring order and discipline.
Once upon a time, we were not given these chances. No consultations, nothing. Anybody who thinks he's in power just implement what he or she thinks it is good for him. But we want enough of consultations whereby we also sell our ideas before it takes off officially. So this is in the right direction.
Spokesperson for the National Okada Riders Association, Solomon Akpanaba, disputed statistics on accidents blamed on Okada riders by the National Road Safety Authority.
Previously, Ghana Road Safety come out and say, this year, this number of people got accident and this number of people died. Those have been wrong statistics. We have been contesting those statistics. For instance, you cannot say 3,000 people got accident this year and 1,000 died. We cannot use the 3,000 as the main figure. We must know how many riders are in Ghana.
The move to regulate Okada operations is a significant step towards balancing road safety and economic empowerment. Stanley Nibleu, TV3 News.
Let's now take you to the Attorney General's office, where the office is reviewing the case of murder suspect Gregory Afoko to decide whether or not to continue prosecution. Despite being tagged a prime suspect in the murder of former Upper East Regional Chair Adams Mahama, the state has been unable to secure his conviction, with the last trial ending with a hung jury. Lord Adwoa Safo reports.
Gregory Afoko is accused of conspiring with Asapke Alangdi to murder former Upper East Regional Chairman of the New Patriotic Party, Adams Mahama. In court on Monday, April 7, presiding judge Marie-Louise Simmons adjourned the case to May 30 after disclosing that prosecution had noted that the Attorney General is still considering how to proceed with the case. Speaking to journalists after court proceedings, Gregory Afoko, who is currently on a 500,000 bail after spending almost a decade in remand, maintained that he is innocent.
Honestly, I can't tell, because from the onset, I have not committed anything. I have not committed a crime. But they still kept holding me for all these years, 10 years. And so I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I don't know what the judge will say.
Gregory's family members, led by the former NPP national chairperson, Paul Afoko, were in court, and then they were pleased. We spoke to them. They were saying they actually hope that the case will be discontinued, and because they're actually expecting justice to be done. Also affirming that yes, especially Mr. Afoko, Paul, he indicated that his brother has suffered long enough, and so he can't wait. He wants the case to be expedited so that they'll know what the future holds for his brother.
Well, who would you hope that? Who would you hope to have justice done? I mean, 10 years? Even if he had been convicted for manslaughter, he would have finished his sentence and come away. But for an offense he never committed, yes, I hope. But we don't know what's going to happen. We are all here. Just pray that justice is done expeditiously.
In April 2024, a 7-member jury returned a hung verdict acquitting Afoko of murder and conspiracy to commit murder with a 4-3 decision, but unanimously convicted Asapke of conspiracy. Asapke Alangdi was then sentenced to death. He has since appealed the High Court's decision. The High Court has ordered a retrial of the duo, but is yet to proceed as there has been issues constituting a new jury. Lodi Dwasari, TV3 News, Accra.
Let's now take you to the camp of the NPP, where the former Member of Parliament for Dome Kwabenya, Adwoa Safo, has expressed disappointment over the absence of the NPP's disciplinary committee at a scheduled hearing into allegations of misconduct against her. According to her, she was not informed the meeting had been called off. Noble Crosby Annan has more in this report.
It all began when Adwoa Safo chose to speak her truth. In an interview, the former Dome Kwabenya Member of Parliament opened up about her long absence from Parliament, public criticism, and her strained relationship with the party, the New Patriotic Party. Her words, raw and honest, it quickly caught the attention of party leadership, and not necessarily in a way. She was summoned by the MPP's disciplinary committee following her outspoken remarks the party deemed contrary to directives intended to promote unity and silence internal dissent. The meeting was originally scheduled to happen on Monday, April 7. Now, although the party on April 6, a day before the all-important meeting, decided to postpone the scheduled appearance for the committee sitting, citing emergency scheduling adjustments and internal considerations, the former Procurement and Gender Minister embarked on what she believed would be a pivotal moment of accountability and clarity on the 7th of April. Loyal supporters of the embattled former MP, they gathered outside the headquarters, their presence a testament to solidarity and unyielding belief in Adwoa Safo's cause.
I'm a law-abiding citizen. I'm a lawyer of 23 years standing, and I know what is proper. So when I received the letter, no, it's just one day notice. I'm here to appear before the disciplinary committee.
Beyond the lively supporters who mocked her, Adwoa Safo says her expectations took an unexpected turn. Instead of facing a panel of stern-faced committee members, she was met by a solitary party official. She says the anticipated meeting had been quietly postponed without her knowing. She was blindsided and ridiculed, she says. She came out looking for answers. For Adwoa Safo, this was supposed to be a day of reckoning, a chance to face her critics and speak directly to the heart of her party. Instead, it became another episode in a long-running story of miscommunication, mistrust, and missed opportunities. Noble Crosby Annan, TV3 News, Accra.
Let's do some health stories now. And an amount of $5 million from the National Health Insurance Authority is expected to fund the procurement of vaccines, which will run out of stock in the next 3 months. The Minister of Health, Kabnaminta Kando, said this when the ministry met with Gavi, the Vaccine Alliance.
Acknowledging the challenges in meeting financial obligations, the minister said government is committed to ensuring payments are made on time for vaccines to be procured without unnecessary delays to enhance routine immunization services.
When I took over office, I realized that the levels of the stocks we have for vaccines are very, very, very low and will be running out very soon. And so we have instructed the National Health Insurance to release an amount of about $5 million US so that we can start the process of purchasing more so that we don't completely run out of stock in the country.
The minister said there are ongoing efforts to ensure that by the end of 2030, Ghana will be able to finance its own vaccine needs.
By 2030, we will have to take up the full responsibility. And so we are taking steps to be able to sustain the supply of these vaccines in the system without the assistance from Gavi or any foreign partner. And so one of the steps we have taken is to make sure that at least the ones we can manufacture locally, we do that. Now we have the National Vaccine Institute in place, and we have other, local pharmaceutical players who have also come on board, and some of them are at a very advanced stage. And I think that when we collaborate with them, we may be able to produce some of these vaccines locally.
The senior country manager for Gavi, the Vaccine Alliance, Aisha Tusize, said the alliance will continue to support Ghana.
We are a partner. We can support if we raise the funds that we need to do so. But it's the decision of the government, and they can come to us for support, of course. Gavi has a long experience in vaccine procurement and working with vaccine manufacturers. So, we can build a partnership on this. But we will just follow the lead of Ghana's leadership.
Gavi has been instrumental in improving immunization access in Ghana through innovative programs and partnerships since 2001. This partnership with Ghana has strengthened immunization services and improved child health outcomes.
Still on health, the World Health Organization, WHO, together with partners, have launched a campaign in Accra to help intensify efforts to curb maternal and newborn deaths. Based on current trends, a staggering 4 out of 5 countries are off track to meet targets for improving maternal survival by 2030. There is more in this report.
Every year, nearly 300,000 women lose their lives due to pregnancy or child-related complications, according to the WHO. Even more, over 2 million babies die in their first month of life, and another 2 million are stillborn. Marking World Health Day on Monday, the World Health Organization, WHO, and its partners launched a year-long campaign aimed at saving the lives of millions of women and newborns. The theme, titled Healthy Beginnings, Hopeful Futures, is focused on accelerating global efforts to end preventable maternal and newborn deaths. The campaign calls for enhanced health care for every woman and baby, with the aim to ensure high-quality, accessible health care before, during, and after childbirth.
We need to invest in high-quality antenatal checks, and that includes at least 8 checks with a skilled health worker and an early ultrasound. All these are essential for all women to support healthy pregnancies, reduce risks, and detect possible complications. We need to invest in life-saving care during and after birth. At least 70% of all maternal deaths are due to direct obstetric causes.
The campaign also highlighted the importance of emotional support, mental health, preventing non-communicable diseases, and family planning. WHO further highlighted their commitment to sharing vital information and resources to support healthy pregnancies, safe births, and better postnatal care worldwide.
It is a reminder that the first stages of life, beginning with pregnancy and extending through the early years of a child's life, are fundamental to the trajectory of future health. As we are all dedicated to health promotion and also social behavior change, especially in communication in health, I know that these early stages are not only about healthcare access, but also about the critical role of communication in empowering individuals and communities.
That will be all for the morning news right here on TV3. But for more news, you can log on to 3news.com and also stay glued for subsequent bulletins. My name is Safa Bohine. New Day continues with Walker and myself. Do have a lovely day.